When I'm in that race car, I feel a different person. I feel a bird that could flies and not got any stress. All I want to do is keep my eye on that target and keep on going.
David Birrell, a soldier at 17. 7 years later, he was a corporal with the Black Watch in Afghanistan. An IED blast changed his life forever.
Come back the state I'm in and try to pick myself up and wonder what I would do with my life. And race cars was that way. I thought that it was only adrenaline I was really missing.
David is now a full-time racing driver. He has big dreams: to compete in the world's oldest endurance racing event.
I want to be the first double amputee to race Le Mans with my prosthetic limbs. No one's ever done it before, ever, so I want to be the first guy to ever do it.
It's April and the first race of the Brit Car season in 2017. A 2-hour race at the famous Silverstone track. David competes with partner Daniel, part of the family-run Woodard racing team.
When he was first introduced to us as a driver, I never knew he had a disability. It was only after we'd agreed to give him a go in the car that somebody mentioned, oh, by the way, he's got no legs. I was really apprehensive about how he was going to handle the whole thing. In practice, he drives that car just as well as Daniel, and more than once he's been quicker than Daniel, so that's the measure. That makes Daniel mad and makes him a bit quicker. But David is very, very good.
David may be a double amputee, but he drives without any hand controls or adaptations to his car. He travels down to his events from his home in Perthshire. Getting into racing has helped David through some dark times, giving him focus. Now he's looking ahead.
A lot of people obviously underestimated me, that I couldn't drive with my prosthetic legs. So I decided that I'd have to prove them wrong. I wanted to show that I could use my legs and be the same as an able-bodied man. And when I first went out on the track day, I was setting laps quicker than most people. There was cars that was quicker than my car that couldn't get away from me.
Back at Silverstone, the team performed well in qualifying and the sprint event. But on the hottest day of the year so far, it's soon clear there are problems.
We have split the thermostat housing between two joints of plastic on the elbow to the water pump. I think it's probably from weakened by the heat cycle and just the two halves have come apart and it's just seeping out of the joint in between there.
Race 1 of the Brit Car season is not to be. The team are devastated, but have to withdraw from the race.
We'll go away, we'll have a few beers, we'll cry, and then, come tomorrow, it's start all over again. It's back to square one. So that's what we do.
Exactly. That's all we do, is just forget about today. It's all about that mindset and crack on with the next event.
Over the next few months, David and Woodard Racing put pedal to the metal several times more, back at Silverstone and at Anglesey and Snetterton. They shift from Brit Car to the Club Enduro Series of the 750 Motor Club Championship. But work doesn't just happen on the track. Fitness is a key part of David Birrell's journey to Le Mans. Strength and endurance training help him go the distance as a driver, tailored to prepare his body for the demands of racing for many hours.
If you're not fit, your visual will burn you out like that, and you need to be able to be fit to be able to take all that in, because if you're doing 200 miles an hour, there's a lot of information you need to come in and you need to react within 1/10 of a second.
The stress that goes under their body with the temperatures, turning corners, the G-force, they really have to be fit, strong guys or girls to endure that.
It's October and David is facing the biggest challenge of his racing career. His first overseas racing circuit is none other than the home of the Belgian Grand Prix. At more than 4 miles round, Spa is the longest Formula One track in the series. David is the first double amputee to race here in an unadapted car. If he finishes today, he'll be making history.
It makes me feel happy with myself, but it was quite difficult to deal with this, you know what I mean? And racing's it's made me feel like a normal human being, you know what I mean? Not somebody with a disability.
Spa is the final circuit of the 2017 racing season. If David and the Woodard team finish here, they can move towards an international race licence. But 50 minutes in and there were real challenges with the car's gearbox. David has to pull in early after the car gets stuck in 6th. With so much riding on this race, the frustrations were clear for co-driver Daniel. But the engineering gods smiled on them.
We had to push start Daniel down the pit lane and then ride the clutch, which had effects as well because we can burn the clutch out for getting way too hot. And it was very touch and go on the first half of lap and the clutch cooled down. And that's how we managed to limp around, but we got the result.
It's a crucial breakthrough for the team. Woodard Racing a step closer to an international race licence. But more exciting news came just a couple of weeks later. Meet the Chevron GR8 GT4, the car that David will race next season and which will take him to the next level as a professional racing driver. At Donington Park, he's here to get behind the wheel for the first time.
It's a bigger, faster car. I'm excited, I'm nervous, been sick with anxiety this morning. But it's all about that step forward, and to be able to achieve what I want to achieve, I need to make those progressions up the ladder.
For the next year, Woodard Racing are the work-supported team for Chevron cars, a company with more than 50 years of racing prowess.
On the steering wheel we have 14 buttons here. On a road car you just have one setting for traction control. Here we have 5 different settings for traction control, so we can adjust how the engine puts the power down for us. It's amazingly different inside. You have to press 4 buttons to start the car. In the Mini we press 1 button and the engine started, so it's amazingly different.
2018 will see the partnership take on the Creventic 24-hour endurance series, with races in Dubai, Europe and the United States.
I think if we can come away from that looking at it and saying that wasn't bad, then that would be good enough for us. After that we're going for wins, but up next year is the learning one.
After a couple of seasons of racing in a Mini, this GT car is in a different league. Despite the wet, the team get in some time on the tarmac.
The car is really fast and so much fun. I just wished I could put that extra inch on the pillar, but if you've not got ankles, you've not got any extra inches you could push. So everything was from the hips. But yeah, absolutely loved it, and I just feel really proud of myself at the minute. It's not been easy to get to where I am today, but look where I am. Think about 7 years ago where I was, and 7 years on, near enough 8 years, I'm reaching for a goal that no one ever thought I would reach.